Tomatoes really do grow better with friends. Today I want to talk about the perfect companion plants for your tomatoes. We're going to talk about a handful of plants that you should plant near your tomatoes for pest repellent, for optimal flavor, and even just to utilize the space in your garden efficiently. So let's look at the perfect companions to plant with your tomatoes this season. First up is probably one you've already heard about, and that is marigold. And you've probably heard about marigolds for very good reason. These little flowers pack a punch when it comes to pest control. They repel nematodes, aphids, and even whiteflies. I have two growing in each of my tomato beds in kind of the middle of the row. And it's important to plant the right varieties. I have these French dwarf marigolds, which are ideal to plant near your tomatoes. And not only do they have all of these wonderful pest repellent properties, but they add a pop of color and beauty to your garden. Next up is basil. And basil is not only a kitchen staple, but it's also a garden powerhouse. Basil helps deter pests like thrips and hornworms, the famous, infamous tomato hornworm. And many gardeners even swear that it improves the flavor of your tomatoes when they're grown close together. I don't know if this is true, but they definitely go well together in the kitchen, so it's definitely worth planting them in your garden. And basil is the perfect understory for your tomatoes because while the tomatoes will grow really tall on the trellis, basil has a compact growing habit and it's the perfect understory. Next up, let's talk about borage. This is one that a lot of people sleep on, but borage is a bee and pollinator magnet. And while your tomatoes can be pollinated by the wind, bees and other pollinators definitely help with this process, and you'll have even better fruit set if you plant your borage near your tomatoes. Borage also helps deter against that tomato hornworm, and if you've ever dealt with a tomato hornworm in your garden, you know how destructive these little pests can be. The thing about planting borage near your tomatoes though is borage can get quite tall and it likes to sprawl. So plant these near the edge of the bed or at least give them a little space away from your tomatoes to do their thing. Next up, let's talk about green onions and garlic. And I put these two together because they're both part of the allium family and they're gonna have huge pest repellent properties, specifically when it comes to aphids, spider mites, and even rabbits. What I love most is how easy they are to tuck into any space. So green onions and garlic, they're not gonna take up a lot of room in your garden and you can really plant those in just about anywhere. Tuck them all throughout your garden, but specifically around your tomato plants. And number 5 on our list is gonna be lettuce. Lettuce is wonderful to plant near your tomatoes. As your tomatoes grow up and they get a little bit taller, they cast some shade. This can be prime real estate for your cool season crops like lettuce. Lettuce does not like it very hot. So by planting your lettuce underneath your tomatoes and allowing them to be partially shaded out, you're going to be able to extend your harvest of lettuce even into the warmer months of the year. This is also going to help reduce weeds, as weeds are not going to take up that space because you have lettuce growing there. And this is a really smart way to maximize the space that you have in your garden. So in summary, here are a few items you should plant with your tomatoes this year. Marigolds to keep pests away, basil for pest management and to improve the flavor, borage for the pollinators and the hornworm protection, garlic and green onion to fill in the gaps and protect your crops from a lot of different pests, and lettuce to utilize that shady space and double your harvest. Your tomato bed just became a powerhouse. Less pests, smarter spacing, more food. And if this helped you, like and subscribe for more beginner-friendly gardening tips. And leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you're planting near your tomatoes this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave a video on your screen until the next one comes out. May your garden be full of grace and may you be abundantly blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye.